welcome to my channel. Thank you for stopping by. Today I'm going to show you how to make these very cute, unique patterns of earrings. I love the colors. It does take a little bit of time, but if you have the time, and if you have some patience, and if you want to know how to make this, please keep watching. Okay, so these are the material that you need. You do need 2 of these earring hooks, seed beads. These are Miyuki, whatever color you decide to use. These are Miyuki Delica. I do recommend, very important, to use this brand, or because there are the same, all the beads are the same size and very uniforms. I was being greedy and I used all random brands, and they're not good. So invest yourself in this brand. For the threads, I wish I have used this color for this pattern, but I wasn't sure at the beginning what colors I wanted to use. So I'm gonna use whatever I used before, which is like cream colors. But if you use darker color, whatever beads you have, I would go with the same, almost the same color of thread, which is also Miyuki brand. These are bungo beads, and I will list where you can get these. These are bicone Swarovski crystal, size 3, not size 3 millimeters, and needles, regular beading needles, and something to cut. Alright, let's get started. So I am going to cut about I want to say about 50 inches, and this is optional. I used the I didn't use the one earlier, but this is the wax, and it just helps to when you work with small threads, and it just helps with not getting tangled. But again, I didn't use it earlier, so I'm just gonna run it once. But again, like I said, it's optional. So then you insert your thread into whatever needles that you have, and you are gonna pick 2 purple seed beads and bring it all the way to the other end, and leaves about 8 inches tail, and then you go back to that first seed bead. This is called stitch beading. So you go back to that, and then you go into that second again. Okay, and then after that you go back one more time from that first one. Okay, and then you pull up and back one more time. Okay, next you pick up 1 seed bead, and you're gonna bring it all the way down, and then you insert from the top of that second seed bead, and then you go back to that the third seed bead. Okay, so we have 3 seed beads, so you're doing the same thing. Pick up a seed bead, so you go back to that previous and go back to that 4th one, and you pick up 1 more seed bead. This is the 5th seed bead, the same thing, and then you go back. So now for the 6th one, I am picking the blue one for the mirror, but I'm doing the same thing, but just a different seed bead, and that would be my mirror piece. So there'll be a total of 11 rows. Okay, so as you could see here, so 5 purple and then 1 blue, and then 5 purple. Okay, so again, after this is the after you have your 11 beads total, so 5 purple, 1 blue in the middle, and then 5 purple, and so that's one row, the first row brick stitch. Okay, so the next one is you going to pick 2 purple, so you're picking 2 purple seed bead. Now you're gonna pick up this thread, which is the after the second seed bead, pull it, okay, and you go to that second seed bead, and you go back to that first one, and then go back to the second seed bead, and then just pull it tightly. So that's your second row. Now second row, you're gonna do 4 purples and then 4 purples and then 1 blue. So let me show you again. So you pick up a purple, right, and then you go to that loop right there, pull it, and go back to that same seed bead. Now this is the second row. Since you already have 4 purple, the next are 2 green, blue, but you work one at a time. Alright, I don't know if this makes sense, but this is the pattern. So we already already did row 1 and row 2, which mean row 1 is from the bottom, row 2, and now we're working upwards. So I now on row 3, so I'm 2 purples first, Alright, so you have completed all the rows, and that will leave you like 2 seed beads on the top. So now you are going to grab 5 seed beads, and you're just gonna go to the opposite seed bead to make a loop, a circle, and then you go back to that circle one more time to make sure it's secure. So you're gonna go to each seed bead one more time. Okay, I'm just kind of pull it, gently pull it. So now you have a loops for your earring hooks later. Now after that, you're gonna go to all these seed bead, okay, and bring your needles down to this side. Alright, so for the first row, you're gonna grab 3 purple, 1 blue, and this bungle bead and bicone at the end, and you just pull it up like that, and then you're going back by skipping this bicone, and you go back to that bungle bead and go back to this all this seed bead and all the way to that first row, and you just kind of let it hang, let it loose, so that way you can move it around. You don't want to pull it too tight. And the next one is you go into that second seed bead on that first row. Okay, so the second row you're gonna grab 4 purple, 1 blue bungle beads and bicones. So each row you increase by 1 purple bead. Okay, now we are going to our third row. Okay, so next we're gonna grab 5 purple and 1 blue, and then bungle bead and bicone, 6 purple, 1 blue, bungle bead. So again, each time you go to the next row, you just increase by 1 purple seed bead, and you will need 5 of the purple. Okay, so this is the middle piece. So 8 purple, 1 blue, and this time I am going to use blue bungle bead and bicone. Now after you finish your middle piece, you're gonna go backward, which means you're gonna match each one. So this one was 8 pieces of purple, so the next one is 7 purple, 6 purple, 5, 4, 3. So you're just going back this way to repeat this pattern but backward. Okay, so the next one I'm gonna grab 7 purple and 1 blue. So I am in trouble. So I told you to cut about 50 inches. I probably will need another inch to work with, so I would recommend you to cut about 60 or 65 inches. So I'm gonna leave this here. I'm gonna work backward from this one. So because I'm working backwards, so it is important to remember how many seed beads that you need, because now I'm working from the outside back in. So I'm grabbing 3 purple seed beads and then 1 blue, and then so on. So I have 1 more row to work. I hope my thread will be enough. So I made it. I really have a little short thread to work with, but I apologize that make sure that was not the case. I didn't want that happens, but it's all right. I'll make it work. So now I tie 2 times 2 knots, and then I want to hide this knot, so I'm going back to these whatever the closest roll. So here I insert the needles about 2 seed beads, and then I'm going to pull this thread. So this time I'm gonna insert these needles over here, so the 2 threads will meet each other right there. And yes, I'm not happy because I'm running out of my thread, but I had no choice but make it work. Okay, so now it hides all the knots. So I'm gonna tie 1 more time right here. You don't have to, but I just feel to secure it, I need to tie it 1 more time. So I am going to do the same thing here by inserting these needles back to these seed bead so I can hide the knot. Gonna pull both thread in the same roll because I literally have no place to work with. So now I'm pulling both. So now it hides the knots pretty well. So now I'm just going to cut carefully. Don't accidentally cut the other thread. So you just pull it and cut it. There you go. So like I said, make sure you cut, give yourself like another 10 or 12 inches of thread to work with. So to finish this, I am going to open these earring hooks. And just carefully close that. And be careful, don't snap the seed bead because they're very fragile and it was a lot of work. So there you go. Alright guys, so these are the finished pieces, and like I said, it does take a lot of time to make it, but I think they are beautiful. And if you do make one, I would like to see how yours come out and see what patterns you use. Thank you once again. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for watching. And if you do like this video, feel free to share with your friends.